Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namayom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So now we are directly in chapter 2 of first canto. Okay, chapter 2 of first canto, divinity and divine service, text 1 onwards. So this chapter is called divinity and divine service. It's really important, amazing chapter. I heard the Srila Prabhupada recommended that we know all the verses of this chapter. Actually, when we read these verses, so you see that how important philosophical verses are them. Anywhere you can use this in any of the classes, these shlokas, to quote them, to give process on that. So basically, the sages of Naimisharanya asked 6 questions to Sutta Goswami in chapter 1 that we have already studied. Question 1 was, what is the ultimate good or ultimate welfare or ultimate the ultimate good for auspiciousness for mankind, human being? So as we discussed while discussing that those verses, people think different things in this world. They have different ideas, different conception about what is good, what is bad in this world. So that's why the sages of Naimisharanya asked that what's the ultimate good for people in this world. So Sutta Goswami starts answering from that question in this chapter, and then other questions also. What should we hear? What is the essence of all the Shastras? So these questions are answered here. So Sutta Goswami starts speaking from this chapter, actually. He offers obeisances, glorifies sages' questions, then starts answering the questions and occupational duties and their goal, everything. So actually, we will go a little bit slowly with this chapter. This really important philosophical chapter. We will go a bit slowly. With other chapters, we will go a bit rapidly, a bit quickly, but this chapter will go a bit slowly. Really important chapter. Only bhakti is to be gained by one's prescribed work. 8 to 15. 16 to 22, bhakti progress. Bhakti progresses. How do we progress in bhakti? From Shraddha to Prema. In fact, Srila Prabhupada wrote his bhajan Vaishnav song, his poem when he went to West First America, called Markine Bhagavad Dharma. Baro kripa koile Krishna odhomedo prati ki lagi nile hetha karo hebe koti. My dear Krishna, Prabhupada is kind of saying in that kind of tone, like when we use sarcasm, oh, you have done a great favor on me by giving this trouble to me, something like that. But Prabhupada is not in sarcastic, but Prabhupada is kind of in that. That's another mood that Prabhupada is kind of telling to Krishna that, oh, why have you brought me here? And he is saying, oh, you have given a great mercy on me by bringing me in this strange place. I don't know what am I going to do in this place? Prabhupada is writing that poem. And that in that poem actually quoted all these verses from 16 to 22. All these 5-6 verses Prabhupada quoted in his poem. Such important verses here. Then only Krishna is to be worshipped. And then question 4 is answered, then question 3 is answered. So most of the chapter of chapter 2, most of the chapter is answer to questions 1 and 2. Okay. So Sutta Goswami begins with prayers, with obeisances. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vyasuvacha iti samprashna samrishta vipranam Romaharshani pratipujya vachastesham pravaktum upachakrame. Ugrashrava. Sutta Goswami, we have already narrated the story of Ugrashrava. Sutta Goswami, the father and the son. So there was Romaharshan Sutta, the father, and Ugrashrava Sutta is the son. So Ugrashrava, which is our Sutta Goswami, whom when we address Sutta Goswami, we address Ugrashrava Sutta. The son of Romaharshana, being pleased with the questions of the Brahmanas, thanked them and attempted to reply. The sages of Naimisharanya asked Sutta Goswami 6 questions, and so he is answering them one by one. So one by one, we'll start from text 2. Now, Sutta Goswami first, he does the Mangalacharan. Yam. This typing is a bit. Let me open up my Bengali Bhagavatam because the font is cannot study. Old version. Okay. Yam prabrajantamanupetamapetta krityam dvaipayana virahakatar ajuhava putreti tanmayataya taravo bhinedustam sarvabhuta hridayam munimanatosmi. Suto vacha. Yam prabrajantam, while going away from the renounced order of life. So actually Sutta Goswami is doing his Mangalacharan. And what is he doing? He is remembering his spiritual master. Who was his spiritual master? Shukdev Goswami. Like we start Mangalacharan, Om Jnana Timirandasa Jnananjana Shalakaya, we offer our obeisances to spiritual master. So Sutta Goswami is also remembering his spiritual master Shukdev Goswami, the story of Shukdev Goswami. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the great sage Shukdev Goswami, who can enter the hearts of all. When he went away to take up the renounced order of life, sannyasa, leaving home without undergoing the sacred thread ceremony, his father, Vyasdev, cried out to him, "Oh, my son." Indeed, only the trees echoed in response to the big-ribbed father. Shukdev Goswami, the son of Vyasdeva, who was... So sometimes there's a story behind, background story of Shukdev Goswami, which says that Shukdev Goswami was the parrot of Srimati Radharani. Also, there's another story that when Lord Shiva was narrating Srimad Bhagavatam to Sati, and Sati fell asleep. So she fell asleep, and Shiva was narrating. So there was this parrot sitting on the tree branch, and he was responding, So Lord Shiva thought that Sati is hearing Bhagavatam. But then after some time, he opened his eyes, and actually he was closing his eyes and he was speaking Bhagavad Katha. But then he saw actually this parrot is saying, Shiva became really angry. Then he was chasing this bird, and the bird was flying with his life. And then he went and entered into the womb of wife of Vyasdeva, whose name was Javali. So I don't know, this story is like miraculous stories of great souls.
Where is this?
In different Puranas, they quote it, like Bhagavad Mahatmya, different Puranas, they quote it. So I haven't read it as such in a book, but they quote it from different Puranas, different things are there. So a story like this. But one thing is that Shukdev Goswami is a Paramahamsa, and when he came out of the womb of his mother, that time only he came out as Paramahamsa. Like Krishna came out as 4-armed form, with jewelry, with alankar, all these things. The same way that Shukdev Goswami came out as a Paramahamsa, Atma Rama. He was first impersonalist Atmarama, he was fully meditating on Param Brahman, impersonal Brahman. So as soon as he took birth, he left home, started walking out, and his father was going behind him. His father was kind of running behind him to catch him. And Putreti Tanmayataya, he was calling Putreti, oh Putra, oh my dear son, my dear son. Putreti Tanmayataya Taravah Avinedu. Tam Sarvabhuta Hridayam Munim Anatosmi. That and all the actually it said also said that when he was calling, oh Putra, Putra, then the birds were like, then the trees were answering. They were responding, yes, yes. So discussed in some places. So also said that, yeah, that's why it's mentioning here that who can enter the hearts of all. So some explanation is there, I think by some acharya or something, but we hear the explanation that when his father was chasing, running behind him, walking behind him, and calling him Putra, Putra, then Shukdev Goswami didn't respond directly. He kind of entered into the heart of the trees, and then he called, yes, yes. Then he responded through the trees. That's why he mentions that who can enter the hearts of all. There's a explanation also. So here you see, in this particular Prabhupada amazingly discusses that, okay, Prabhupada talks about here Shudra, then Dvija, Vipra, and Vaishnava. Prabhupada talks this in this purport. So first of all, who is Shudra? Janmana Jayate Shudra. That as soon as we take birth, we are Shudra. And then how do I, after we take birth as a Shudra, then when we are given some skaras, purificatory processes, then we can become Dvija, twice born. And after one becomes a twice born Dvija, then when one studies the Vedas, then he becomes a Vipra. A man is born ordinarily as an ordinary being, Shudra, and by the purificatory process, he is born for the second time. And when he sees a new light and seeks direction for spiritual progress, he approaches the spiritual master to instruct him in the Vedas. The spiritual master accepts only the sincere inquirer as his disciple and gives him sacred thread. In this way, becomes Dvija, a twice born. And after qualifying as a Dvija, one may study the Vedas. And after becoming well versed in the Vedas, one becomes a Vipra. Vipra, or a qualified Brahmana, thus realizes the absolute and makes further progress in spiritual life until he reaches the Vaishnava stage. So that's the point, that by birth we are Shudra, then when we get purificatory process, we become Dvija, but that's not all. So idea is that we come to Krishna consciousness, we take shelter of spiritual master, and spiritual master gives us Diksha. Okay, we become Dvija. But then if we take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, then we can be the real Brahmanas by taking shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Vaishnavas. The Prabhupada says Vaishnava is the Vaishnava stage. Yeah, Prabhupada says Vaishnava stage is the postgraduate status of Brahmana. Vaishnava stage is the postgraduate status of Brahmana. A progressive Brahmana must necessarily become a Vaishnava, for a Vaishnava is self-realized learned Brahmana. Progressive Brahmana must necessarily become a Vaishnava. Self-realized soul, he should be a Vaishnava. So that's the ultimate goal of Varnashrama, to come to the platform of Vaishnava. So, and Brahmana. So there is another nice verse I would like to show you, that in Srimad Bhagavatam, In Srimad Bhagavatam, yeah, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila, and see Madhya Lila also. In Bhagavatam, 10th canto also. Different places Prabhupada quotes this. No, they're different. But yeah, this verse he quotes in two places. Brahmananam, yeah. Brahmananam sahasrebhya satrayaji vishishyate satrayaji sahasrebhya sarva vedanta paragaha sarva vedanta vidkotya vishnu bhakta vishishyate Vaishnavanam sahasrevya ekanteka vishishyate. A Brahmana qualified to offer sacrifices is better than an ordinary Brahmana. Means there are different types of Brahmanas. But a Brahmana who can actually offer sacrifices, fire sacrifice, or he can do puja, like there are different devotees to Brahman Diksha. But not everyone can do sacrifice and all. But a Brahmana who can do fire sacrifice and all, he is better than ordinary Brahmanas. Actually, he is better than thousands of ordinary Brahmanas. Sahasrabhya is thousands. And then a better than such a Brahmana is one who has studied all the Vedic scriptures. Better than those Brahmanas, like who are expert in fire sacrifices, better than thousands of those Brahmanas, a Brahmana who is expert in the Vedas is higher. And better than such thousands of Brahmanas or such crores of billions of Brahmanas, those who are expert in Vedas, Vishnu Bhakta Vishishyate, devotee of Lord, means a Vishnu Bhakta Vaishnava is best. And among many such Vaishnavas, only who fully engages in the service of the Lord is the best. Is the best. That's the meaning. In another place, Prabhupada quoted it. Brahmananam Sahasra is. See, in different places, Prabhupada quotes verses and he translates differently. So that's beauty when we read, search and read it wherever he quotes it. Out of many thousands of Brahmanas, one may become qualified to perform yajna. Out of many thousands of such qualified Brahmanas, one may become fully aware of the Vedanta philosophy. Out of many millions of learned Vedanta scholars, there may be one Vishnu Bhakta or devotee of Lord Vishnu. It is who is most exalted. Then Madhya 8.246 also. Yeah, here Prabhupada gave elaborate translation. It is said that out of thousands of Brahmanas, one is qualified to perform sacrifices. Okay. And out of many thousands of such qualified Brahmanas, expert in sacrificial offerings, one learned Brahmana may have passed beyond all Vedic knowledge. He is considered the best amongst all these Brahmanas. And yet, out of thousands of such Brahmanas who have surpassed Vedic knowledge, one person may be a Vishnu Bhakta and he is most famous. Out of many thousands of such Vaishnavas, one who is completely fixed in the service of Lord Krishna is most famous. Indeed, a person who is completely devoted to the service of the Lord certainly returns home back to Godhead. The point is, Brahmananam Sahasrabhya Sadrayaji Vishishyata. Out of thousands of ordinary Brahmanas, a Brahmana who can perform fire sacrifice is the best. And out of thousands of Brahmanas who are expert in sacrificial ceremonies, a Brahmana who knows the Shastra, the Vedas is the best. And out of billions of such Vedantavid Brahmanas, means the Brahmanas who knows the Vedas, a devotee of Lord Vaishnava is best. And out of thousands of Vaishnavas, an Ekanti Eka Vishishyate, you follow this word Ekanta. Ekanti Eka Vishishyate. The word Ekanti is important here. An unalloyed devotee who doesn't have any other motive, any other ulterior desires, he is the best. So that means there might be thousands of Vaishnavas also, but not all are Ekanta Bhaktas. There may be Vaishnavas in Kanishta, in Madhyama, Uttamastar, different levels. Vaishnavas with material desires also can be there. Means according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is a Vaishnava? One who chants the holy name even once is a Vaishnava. Okay, so according to that, many people are coming and chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, they're Vaishnava. Okay, but They are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay, they can be called as Vaishnava, but at the same time, they have material desires. So there are ordinary Vaishnavas and there are Ekanta, unalloyed Vaishnavas. And that's our goal, to be like that. Yeah, Vaishnava is the postgraduate status of Brahmana. And the ultimate goal of Varnashrama is to be a Vaishnava, to be a devotee of Lord. Anyone, therefore, who becomes a Vaishnava accepted by the first class Vaishnava Uttamadhikari Vaishnava is already considered a Brahmana, regardless of his birth or past deeds. So here Sutta Goswami, he was not a Brahmana by birth. He was born in the law-born. That's what we will see later also. Like Haridas Thakur, example of Haridas Thakur, he was accepted as Namacharya. So now again, he offers his prayers to Shukdev Goswami. Yasvanubhavamakhilam Shrutisāramekam Adhyatmadvīpamatitirshataṃ tamandham samsārinām karunaya purāna guhyam tam vyāsasunam upayami gurum muninām. Nice verse. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, means Shukdev Goswami, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasadeva, who out of his great compassion for those gross materialists who struggle to cross over the darkest regions of material existence, spoke this Purana, supplement to the Vedas, the cream of Vedic knowledge, after having personally assimilated it by experience. So Shukdev Goswami, he assimilated by experience. Adhyatma Dvipam, Deepam. Srimad Bhagavad, first of all, so in this verse, offering obeisance to Shukdev Goswami. So who is Shukdev Goswami? What are his qualities? First of all, he is son of Vyasadeva. Who is Shukdev Goswami? Son of Vyasadeva. Then he is the spiritual master of all the sages. Second thing. And then third thing is he is the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Spoke this Purana. He is a speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the identity of Shukdev Goswami. 3 points about him. Spiritual master of all sages, son of Vyasadeva, and spoke this Purana. 3 things. Fine. And also another thing is that he has personally assimilated it by experience. Personally assimilated. So 4 points about Shukdev Goswami. Vyasa Tanai, son of Vyasa, Munim, Gurum Muninam, spiritual master of the sages, and he spoke the speaker of Purana Bhagavatam and personally assimilated. 4 points about Shukdev Goswami. Then about Srimad Bhagavatam. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? Srimad Bhagavatam is supplement to the Vedas. The Srimad Bhagavatam, supplement to the Vedas. And Srimad Bhagavatam is cream of Vedic knowledge. Okay. And out of great compassion for those materialists who struggle to cross over. Yeah, so 1 point is actually, another thing is in Adhyatma Deepam. Srimad Bhagavatam is torchlight. So that point is actually not there in translation. So Adhyatma Deepam, torchlight. It means when we say the cream of Vedic knowledge, It means that, but actually literal meaning is torchlight, deepam. So in 1.1.1 we saw Janmadhyasya Tanveditartaschartheshu Vigya Sarad. In that shloka, Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur gave different meanings, and he compared Srimad Bhagavatam to sun, and he compared Srimad Bhagavatam to light lamp. So then he quoted this verse actually. Adhyatma Deepam. Srimad Bhagavatam is like a torchlight, or it's like a lamp. It's like a lamp which can show us the right path. Adhyatma Deepam Atitir Shatam Tamandam. So now in this purpose, Srila Prabhupada talks about that Mayavadis with Srimad Bhagavatam. Relationship with the Mayavadis with Srimad Bhagavatam. How do they accept Srimad Bhagavatam? The relationship with Srimad Bhagavatam. The Prabhupada talks here again. Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentary, supplementary commentary on Vedanta Sutras or Brahma Sutras. So then from this point, Prabhupada brings here that the Mayavadis, they discuss about Vedanta Sutra, but they don't touch Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, Srimad Bhagavatam is the unrivaled commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Sripad Shankaracharya intentionally did not touch it. So that's the point. He intentionally did not touch Bhagavatam. He commented on Gita, he commented on Vedanta Sutra, but intentionally did not touch Srimad Bhagavatam because he knew that it would be too difficult for him to surpass the natural commentary. Actually, point is Srimad Shankaracharya, the incarnation of Shiva, his purpose was to give Mayavada, preach Mayavada and bewilder people in Kali Yuga. This was his purpose. That was Shankaracharya. So he wrote commentary on Vedanta Sutra, he wrote commentary on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, but he purposefully didn't touch Bhagavatam. Why? Because he knew that Bhagavatam is so direct, it's so direct that it cannot be misinterpreted. It cannot be misinterpreted as Mayavada. Directly you will find description in Bhagavatam about the Supreme Lord. Oh, Varha Piram Natavara Gopu Karanaya Karanikaram. Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and he has this Varha Pira, he has peacock feather on his head, and he is doing this, he is doing that. And Tarunam Ramani Yangam Arunastrekshanadharam. He is so beautifully young. He looks so young, beautiful. And his lips are reddish lips. Arunastrekshanadharam. His eyes are so beautiful. And he is wearing golden color dress, Pita Vasa. So directly they will, Prasanna Vadane Kshanam. He is smiling. So like they will discuss in Srimad Bhagavatam in different places. Direct description of Supreme Personality of God. In the third canto of Bhagavad Kapil section, Hasam Hare Avanata Akila Lokatibra Shokashu Shagara Vishoshana Muttudaram. So Lord's eyebrows. Kapil Dev is meditating on the eyebrows of Lord. So directly, Supreme Lord is explained there in Srimad Bhagavatam that Shankaracharya understood that he cannot misinterpret it to be Mayavada, to be impersonalism. So that's why he didn't touch Bhagavatam. So in previous paragraph, Srila Prabhupada also talks about how this material world is like a dark region. And they have to desire actually to come out of this dark place. And also example is given of camel. Example of camel, where is that? Like karmis. Yeah, they're like the karmis. Gyanis and karmis. Yeah, similar. Yeah, the example of that. Therefore, they're compared to the camel who relishes thorny twigs in the desert. Camels are there, and they chew the thorny twigs, leaves, kind of thorny grass is there. And he likes to taste the twigs mixed with blood. When he chews it, his tongue is cut with the thorns of the thorny twigs, and there is bleeding. And with that blood and with his saliva, with the juice of the twig, there is a particular taste is produced, and the camel relishes it. But he doesn't know that he is harming himself. He is having his own blood. He is uh, relishing his own blood. So similarly, the karmis, the materialists, they are bringing their own danger, but they don't know that. Out of thousands of hundreds of karmis, one may feel tired of material entanglement, then he can come to the platform of Gyanis. But this karmi, Gyani, and all are actually then to take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And only those who are pure-hearted, Nirmatsara, only they can understand Srimad Bhagavatam. The Mayavadis are envious of the personality of Godhead, despite Shankaracharya's admission that Narayana, personality of Godhead, is above material creation. So therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam, those who are really anxious to get out material existence may take shelter of Bhagavatam. So it's only for Paramahamsas. Bhagavatam is only for Paramahamsas. Yeah, from this introductory shloka of Bhagavatam, we can understand that it's only for Paramahamsas. So now comes the famous verse, famous shloka that we recite every day in Bhagavatam class, in Mangalacharanam. Now, Sutta Goswami offered his obeisances to Shukdev Goswami in text 2 and 3. In text 4, he is offering obeisances to the presiding deity of Srimad Bhagavatam and the sage of Bhagavatam. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim swaraspatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasdev, the author. So he's offering obeisances to, first of all, Naranarayan Rishi. So Naranarayan Rishi is called the presiding deities of Srimad Bhagavatam. Naranarayan Rishi. Narayan is Supreme Lord's incarnation. And Lord Narayan, Narottamam, Lord Narayan, he is the worshipable deity of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Mother Saraswati, she is the Grantha Shakti, the potency of this wonderful book. And this Saraswati is not material demigoddess Saraswati. So all the demigod and demigoddesses, they have two portions. One is their spiritual portion, spiritual reality, and another thing is their material reality in this world. Like, for example, Saraswati, goddess Saraswati. In spiritual world also there is Saraswati, who is the presiding deity of spiritual knowledge, Paravidya Rupini Saraswati. And there is a material Saraswati in heavenly planet, who is the presiding deity of material knowledge, Aparavidya Rupini Saraswati, Paravidya. So here, Sutta Goswami is offering respectful obeisances to the Paravidya Rupini Saraswati and to Vyasdev, who is the sage of this book. So all the Shastras is particular sage, particular demigod, who is what is the. So these four points we need to understand before studying each scriptures. Who is the deity of this book? Who is the worshipable Lord of this book? Who is the potency Shakti of this book? And who is the sage of this book? So these four things I mentioned in this particular verse. So Prabhupada talks about hair. Vedas and Puranas. Vedas and Puranas. Relationship between Vedas and Puranas. Relation. What is the relationship between them? Okay, Vedas and Puranas. So Prabhupada says Puranas are meant for conquering the darkest region of material existence. Vedic literature and Puranas. So Prabhupada brings here that what is the relationship between Puranas. So Puranas are supplementary explanations of the Vedas. Foolish people say that there is no connection between Puranas and the Vedas. So Puranas are the supplementary explanations of the Vedas, intended for different types of men. So Shruti and Smriti, two things, Shruti and Smriti. Shruti Smriti Purana Adi Pancharatram Vidin Bina Ekantika Hared Bhakti Utpate Eva Kalpate. Shruti and Smriti. Shruti means direct knowledge that directly came from the Supreme Personality of Godhead during creation, that was revealed to Brahma like Vedas. Directly Brahma received them, Shrutis. And Smritis means at later point of time in the history, when the sages, when they received the knowledge of Shruti, after studying them, they assimilated that and they kind of gave us that knowledge of Shruti in an understandable form, digestible form, equal digest or digestive. The sages took Shruti, the Shastras, they understood it and they gave us their own Shastras. So Shruti is unchangeable. Shruti does not change, but Smriti changes. Okay, like for example, Ishopanishad. There is the devotee. For example, there is Ishopanishad. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagatena tektena bhunjita ma gridha kasya siddhanam. So when we talk about Ishopanishad, if we go to like other Brahmanda, any other planet or any other loka, even if we go to Indra loka or if we go to other Brahmanda and we recite, oh Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat, then immediately they will say, oh, it's Ishopanishad. You go to any Brahmanda and decide Ishavasya, there is always Ishopanishad. Or you go and decide, oh, Nayamatma Pravachanena Labbana Medhayanam Gahuna, oh, this Kathopanishad shloka. So you go to any Brahmanda in any Kalpa, you recite this shloka, it's same, it's not changing. Same memory card, same chip, in every creation to every Brahma, he just copies and pastes. Same message. But Smriti is changing, like in this Brahmanda, sages gave in one way. You go to other Brahmanda, it might be changed, it might be different. If you go and quote some Puranas verse or Bhagavatam verse in other Brahmanda, it might be different. So for our Brahmanda, our planetary system is sages gave like this. So Shruti and Smriti. So there are some kind of people, sect of people in India, like they're called Arya Samaj or other people are also there, who say that only Shrutis are bona fide, only Vedas are bona fide. We accept only Shrutis because they are not changing, unchangeable. But because Smritis change, that's why we don't accept Smritis. We don't accept Puranas as bona fide. So there are some people, group of people who accept only Shrutis, and they say, no, Purana, we don't believe in Purana. Quote from Veda, quote from Upanishad. If you have to talk to them, only quote Veda and Upanishad. They don't believe in, except Puranas, even Bhagavatam, or other Itihasa, they don't accept them. Prabhupada said in one place, they are like loafer kind of people. Prabhupada says, they're loafers. They don't accept Parampara. Because in Parampara, the Puranas came. In fact, Jiva Goswami said that Smritis are more relevant for us. Because Smritis are given for us according to time. Because Shruti is common. It's for all the time, all the generations and all the Brahmandas for eternity. Shruti is common, it's unchangeable. So that's why it's difficult to understand all the Shruti like Vedas, Vedic verses, Upanishads are sometimes difficult to understand. We require special training in Parampara, in Gurukula to understand Vedas, recite them, pronounce them, and understand them, their meaning of that. But Puranas and Itihasas, the sages gave it in easy format, understandable way, same knowledge. So that's why Puranas we accept is as more relevant for us. And out of all the Puranas, Srimad Bhagavad Mahapurana is the best, is the most important for us. So Sutta Goswami has shown us how to study the Puranas. So Puranas are given actually for people, those kind of people who are not that intelligent to understand the Vedas and Shrutis. Which are we? We are not understanding Prabhupada books only. What will you understand if they give us Shruti, Vedanta, and Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavatam Vitamal Puran? So now, Shukdev, Sutta Goswami, he congratulates the sages for their questions. Appreciate the questions. He appreciates the questions of the sages. Munaya sadhu prishtoham भवद्भिर्लोकमङ्गलम् यत्कृतः कृष्ण संप्रश्नो येनात्मा suprasidati. O sages, I have been border style. Okay. O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. Their questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna. That's the main important point. That why it's so important, because they relate to Krishna. And so are of relevance to the world's welfare. So he's indicating here his intention. He's indicating his intention that whatever is related to Krishna is the welfare for people in general of this world. And completely satisfying the self. So 2 points. Because they're related to Krishna, that's why it's of relevance to the world's welfare. And second point is satisfying to the self. So they asked the question. What was the second question? Second question was that, tell us something. Yanatma suprasidati. How the soul becomes more purified. Our soul becomes satisfied. Tell us something. What is the essence of the Shastras? By hearing which soul is satisfied. So the Goswami is indicating here that only by hearing about Krishna Katha, that's the essence of all the Shastras, and soul can be completely satisfied by that. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada talks about that. We can give the heading title here that only through the subjects or only through the question answers? Only through the questions and answers related to Krishna. Okay. Soul can be satisfied. The soul can be satisfied. Yes. The Prabhupada talks about the whole world is filled with question answers. Questions and answers. The whole world is full of questions and answers. The birds, beasts, and man are all busy in matter of perpetual questions and answers. What is this? What is that? Why so? When? What? When? Why? How? Whom? Where? Question words. So many of them we have. But only through Krishna Katha, question answers regarding Krishna, we can get really, really happy. The businessmen in market are busy with questions and answers. Lawyers in court are also schools, colleges, questions, answers. Legislators in the parliament are also busy with questions and answers. Why did you do this? We'll punish you. Or why did you didn't do this? Politicians, press representatives, all busy with question and answers. So asking questions, answering them. So that's the main point. Because Srimad Bhagavatam deals with questions and answers that are related to Krishna, we can derive the highest satisfaction only by reading Srimad Bhagavatam and make an all-round solution, all-rounding solution to problems of pertaining to social, political, and religious matter. Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna are sum total of all things. So that's the main point. Srimad Bhagavatam is the sum total of all things. So questions, answers, questions, answers. If Arjuna would not ask questions, there would not be Bhagavad Gita. If Suta Goswami would not be asked questions by the sages, or if Parikshit Maharaj would not ask questions to Shukdev Goswami, then we would not get Srimad Bhagavatam. So spirituality, ask questions, no worry. All of you can also ask questions. Like after you listen to the classes, you can also ask questions in our Telegram group. I'll try my best to answer them, whatever I know, or I'll inquire. So ask questions, no worry. So thus we end here today's discussion from text 6, which is one of the most important verse. Prabhupada quoted it one of the most times. Suta Goswami actually starts answering the questions.
So you have the back to back, you have the Bengali Bhakti Shastri starting in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Try to let the people online if they have questions, because I have a bunch.
Hare Krishna. So we end it concluded here. We continue tomorrow from text 6.